Good evening, viewers. We welcome all of you on the Idea Factory platform to discuss another exciting topic. As you are aware, the festive season is started. So, all the best greetings of Durga Puja to all our viewers. And today we have with us Executive and Leadership Coach Mr. Sushant Sharma. And we are going to continue our discussions on the topic of orbit shifting and its application to improve the impact on a long lasting organization. As you're all aware, we have discussed in the last few episodes about how orbit shifting is the new possibility wherein, happier employees can help build long-lasting organization by staying in organizations for a longer period of time, over 10 years or 15 years, vis-a-vis the current trend where, the typical longevity of an employee in the organization is not more than 1 or 2 years, and this is only going seems to be increasing every day. This is very sad because as the country is prospering, as we are trying to improve the frontiers of the country, we must also ensure and build organizations where people can build their careers within them. With that backdrop, let me ask my first question to Mr. Sushant Sharma. Mr. Sharma, besides moonlighting, what do you think are the other challenges that an organization is facing today?
Hi Abir, good evening. Wishing you a very happy festive season ahead. So, as per your question, see, we are living in a rapidly changing times, right? I'm sure you are aware, especially for businesses, like a single generation business have had to adapt entirely new marketing channels. Last few years, if you see, there's web, they have to ensure their digital media presence also, social media presence also, how to utilize and invest your new technologies on a global stage and things that barely imaginable our parents and grandparents generation, right? I'm sure you'll agree with this. So corporates are also fighting a different battle altogether. So one side effect of this rapid change growth is that no single CEO or employee, for that matter, can be an expert in everything. Let's accept it. There cannot be anybody who's expert in everything. This was perhaps always true, but has never been more apparent now, actually. So that is why, in my opinion, some of the biggest challenges business face today are best met and it is with qualified consultants. That is where the role of consultants comes in picture. Consultant like us, like bring on a consultant who helps CEOs to expertise the skills they need to address their particular problems. So the first and foremost change is uncertainty. There's a VUCA world. We are living in a VUCA world right now. VUCA, I'm sure you will be able to understand. VUCA is there is volatility, there is uncertainty, there is a lot of complexities, and there is ambiguity also. So this is what VUCA is all about. The first is uncertainty about the future. Now, of course, after post-corona, there have been a lot of uncertainties also, like being able to predict customer trends, how the customer will behave, what kind of there's every 1 year or 2 years there are a lot of disruptions in the market. The product is being sold another ways. There's a different D2C is coming, B2B is there, B2C is there. There are a lot of the direct business channels are also coming up, which is creating a lot of uncertainty with business also. So it is vital to changing economic climate, but not every CEO is warrant of it. Every CEO is not a leadership has amazing leadership qualities. So that is where uncertainty about the future. Then financial management is also an issue. Monitoring performance, and again, issue is monitoring performance of the employees using a meaningful set of performance indicators. There's a key performance areas, how to avoid the key pitfalls. Finance indicators that clog up corporate reporting channels. Then, of course, the regulation compliance issues also, which are one of the biggest challenges for the corporates also. Then there's competencies in recruiting the right talent, because we all know the cost of what they have to incur if they end up recruiting a wrong person at the wrong job actually. So recruiting the right kind of talent is also one of the big issues every corporate is dealing with it right now. Then comes the technology. Of course, the technology is changing practically at the speed of light. Can you believe it? Companies need to innovate or be left behind. The innovation is so very important in today's scenarios. Started the career in business before many of these technologies even existed. Then the exploring data, the database, the big data. So data is also so very important. We are living in an age of data. This data is as a liquid. So that is where data makes a lot of difference. Of course, customer service, customer retention. We are in a 21st century where instant gratification. Customers leaves, they want instant customer service and take up to the web to share their displeasure. Immediately, people can just put their. It takes 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes at max to put their feedback on the global scenario. All that they need just a global Google feedback and that's it. They can do it. So customer feedback is so very important. Customer retention is so very important. Customer after sales service is so very important. Then comes maintaining reputation. Its overall image of the company can get hampered once if that is not done properly. Then another change is when to embrace change. The quickness, the flexibility and adaptability makes all the difference. How flexible you are, how quick you are to embrace the changes around you, that will determine the organizations, how they overcome the challenges and how they emerge as a winner. That's what separates, winners from the losers actually in the going forward scenario. So these are the few challenges every corporate is facing these days. So coming back to this, how orbit shifting, like which is your forte, I would like to understand from your perspective on that. If I ask you, how orbit shifting can address the challenges faced by organizations today?
Right. I think it was a very good introduction on the topic that we are going to discuss today. As you can understand, we are in very uncertain times, and every
Mhm.
organization, they themselves do not know what will be the future of the organization, and nothing is automatic. So, if the organization, if the growth is not automatic, obviously, people, the CEO and the whole organization is in a turmoil most of the time, and because things are moving at a very high speed, things are definitely going to change. Only today there has been the news of the 5G launch and by the Prime Minister of India, and 5G changes the whole game. I mean, today, if you're looking at telecom, like when we were there vis-a-vis what it is today, I remember we were fighting on the 2G front at that point in time. And today, just a few years later, we are talking of 5G with so much
Mhm.
of breakneck speed. And by that time, data has already come in such a high way. How is going to 5G will evolve and mix up with the data today? When there was 2G, there was no, data world that we have today, like the Zoom and the the entire DTH was not there. So the entire digital world has evolved so, well. So the entire story of 5G is a huge different ball game. Similarly, I think we were hearing about, how the big telecom companies are even fighting. Even today, I was hearing the other day about how Vodafone Idea is having a huge backlog of payment to the government, and how we thought things have stabilized between Bharti Airtel, Vodafone, and Geo. And now again, Vodafone is in a different is badly stuck on financially, and so even the BEs are not stable. So everywhere there's a lot of turmoil, as you rightly said, Mm, and everybody is trying to find certain amount of stability within the same system. So obviously, there are stories of people being laid off from organizations. Just the other day there were IT companies are laying off some of the employees. The edtech companies are laying off some of the employees, and again laying off is happening at a time when we thought everything is going to stabilize just after COVID. With that turmoil in front, let me share certain just the screen, and let us continue the concept of orbit shifting as we discussed it the other day. uh, if you can see the screen, you remember we had discussed what orbit shifting essentially meant is to take the organization from one level of operation to the next level of operation. So essentially, I would say that each organization has, you cannot stay in a stationary orbit. You get thrown out of the orbit, or you raise yourself to the next level. So orbit shifting is the process of raising the organization to the next level, and how also people can also raise themselves to the next level by slowly moving out of the stable job portfolio that they have got, and to move to a more creative life. Here we would like to take away from the entire work pressure, because here we are involving and telling people that you build a career of your choice, of your interest, of your capability within the platform that has been given to you. So within the job platform, how people can gradually build up their careers within the organization. So this also means we are talking of, okay, and as we discussed upon the topic of moonlighting, and there's a huge debate even today that is going on, we also believe that everybody should be having a single job, which means that you put your focus on the same job, but at the same time you also improve your profile within that, so that you enjoy your stay within the organization, and the organization also tries its level best to go it on a creative and an innovative journey. As we rightly said, the whole world is changing, so innovation is not a choice anymore. It is becoming a compulsory roadmap or a compulsory part of every organization. So once you innovate, then only you are going to get be on the ahead of the knowledge curve, and then only you can lead from the front. So in that respect, the innovation becomes a very center point of orbit shifting. So here we are talking about people who have their own jobs, but they also have variable salaries, which means a minimum amount of fixed salary, but the variable salary is dependent upon the areas that you choose. So if you choose areas A, B, C, obviously your salary will be dependent on the success of those areas. So a certain amount of high variable salary automatically comes in and also motivates you to perform better, so that you can build up the career. Also, most of the organizations, I'm not saying everyone, but mostly very have linear careers. So if you have a linear career, how do people fast track? Suppose someone doesn't want to follow a linear curve and have come later, but feels that he is capable of running faster than what the organization offers them. Is there a roadmap for him to have a fast track career within the organization? I remember many organizations do talk about fast track careers, but mostly do not offer. I mean, out of 100 people, maybe one guy could be very can be running very fast. But is there a roadmap given to the employees within the creative zone, and whether you can fast track your career if you're creative enough? Also, as we rightly said, we are slowly coming out of the boss zone, and whether mentoring could be the next path, wherein all the people can, the senior people can mentor people as they juggle different roles or different portfolios within the same organization. And as we also say that there could be multiple streams of income within the same job itself. There could be creative ways. For example, I remember it would have been lovely if most organizations have a treasury department where they can invest their money, and people companies can put their expertise in giving growth in the stock market for employees, which could be generally people do it on their own. There are so many options available that people have to invest on their own. They have to monitor their money. But how about giving this option within the organization itself, so the person can park his money on safe hands and also gets monitored for maximum returns or maximum gains within the platform. So this could be another source of income within the organization. So could be creative areas wherein you can have multiple sources of income. And today, as we do discuss about moonlighting, where people are actually trying to get multiple sources of income, because your salary is not keeping pace with the requirements of your life, and you only have maybe 20-25 years of your working life, and you have to achieve certain financial milestones within that, also plan for the future. So obviously people are trying various means to have multiple ways of building careers. So essentially, this kind of orbit shifting process would definitely give long-term benefits to organization, where people can see that they have an open dialogue with the organization, can improve their portfolio within the organization, and therefore they can continue their career within the organization for the next 10, 15 years. Of course, they have to perform. Here, as you rightly said, that the things are so VUCA or so ambiguous that you, until and unless you perform, you cannot stay. But that doesn't mean you have to be under fear of losing your job every day. That people cannot perform, and that's what's happening in India today. India is no more, it's becoming more like the West, where people are getting afraid and they might get the pink slip tomorrow. And this is not what we want to build an India after the COVID has happened, has hampered so much. We have to give a certain amount of stability to people, but at the same time also be competitive. And people who are on a creative journey can definitely compete because they have, it comes out of joy or capability or content, and not out of the overall fixed box like job portfolio that you have. This is also kind of a progressive mindset, that we build organizations through creativity, and the boundaries of organization are broken, because if you bring creativity, there's no end to growth, because everybody can partner and everybody can bring new ideas to the organization, but the organization has to put a structured roadmap to bring in these ideas into fruition, and thereby reward these people, recognize these people for contributing to the growth of the organization. Typically, orbit shifting appears to be a very, very exciting methodology where we can break the monotony and break the challenges of organization, of building a long lasting organization. This is also another, because when we are talking of good profile, we are also talking of non-linear earnings. As we rightly said, fast tracking your career, and as we just said about the stock market capability of organization should also build up a mechanism that people can go fast track their careers and go into non-linear earnings, because that is what is also going to motivate them in addition to the creative job profile. Creative job profile is important, but at the same time, non-linear earnings are also possible. Here we have discussed certain of these parameters already before. We are talking about a fixed component and a variable component, and wherein the variable is more connected to the bundles of work that you're going to do associated within the organization, creativity and the results associated with the creativity, because without results, the creativity may get lost in being a cost center and not as a revenue center. Please remember, we also have to build every portfolio or every product portfolio or a business line as a revenue and a profitability center. And if you want to build it as a profitability center, obviously you have to build focus on the results and not on the creativity only. So both together will combine together, but we will slowly evolve out of the operational model which most organizations have today. And instead of a 90-10 percentage of operation versus creative, maybe we are going to evolve an organization which could be around 65-35, which is operationally 65 and creatively 35. And whether we can, there is no optimum mix that we can talk about at this point in time, but definitely we are looking at a higher mix of creativity within the organization. We are also talking about a measurement matrix of people, because until and unless this becomes very unstructured, because you are breaking the box, obviously the measurement matrix is no more, will you don't have a single method of measuring everybody. You have to evolve the measurement matrix, and you have to bring in personal elements to it. So maybe 20-25% of it will be purely personalized, and remaining 60-65 will be organization and also industrial. So we will have to build and evolve a measurement matrix which they are going to know beforehand, so that the roadmap is known to them, and then they are going to prosper. Also, it is important for organization to have not only a yearly dialogue with the employee, but also to have a 3-year and a 5-yearly dialogue with the individual, so that he can see, or he can imagine his career 5 years down the line, or 7 years down the line, and what is the roadmap available to him, and how is he performing over there. So these are all elements of orbit slowly method of building on orbit shifting methodology, and how more and more people are going to be happy. Your retention will be more. You will not be on a perennial flux of people joining and people leaving, and again people joining and people leaving. This perennial flux is not something that is desirable for a long lasting organization. And maybe these are some of the methods which we think could be attribute to a larger life of people within the organization. Though we are in a much, we cannot be compared to our old generation, but definitely we want performing candidates, but we also want people to stay and contribute to the organization. So these are some of the thoughts on the orbit shifting. Now my question to Mr. Sharma, Mr. Sharma, if you can give us some examples of how organizations are helping young professionals in building their careers. Are there certain examples that we can talk of today? Mr. Sharma, we are not able to hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So what I'm referring is that there are companies who are spending a lot on training and development actually. So when we talk about it, like as you asked me, what are the companies investing? What are the awesome places? They make them the an amazing place to work for. They're basically employees, and employees look for to work for those places actually. So that is where it is. So how it is, why it happens. There's a report called by Trading Magazine company in the US which spends around 5.5 billion on training and development programs for employees. So they have listed actually 10 companies, 10 such companies which actually invest training and development actually. And it is all they go for the satisfaction level of the employees, internal promotion opportunities, and better retention also, which actually impacts their retention as well. So considering that, one such company is Settle Genetics. Settle. It is basically, they offer tuition reimbursement, on-site training courses to enhance job-related skills, to access job-related conferences and seminars also. And they say that, there's a training and L&D person who says this. I have heard him talking that, they support continuing education. They offer on-site training to enhance job and management-related skills also. At the same time, provide opportunities for employees in job-related conferences and seminars, because eventually they know employees growth is the company's growth. They believe in the simple funda. If employee will grow, employee feel happy, the company will grow definitely. That's what they believe in firmly. Developing our employees career and investment for both our employees and the future of the Settle Genetics. That's what they believe in. Team members who bring enthusiasm to everything they do. Enthusiasm is very important. You should need to have a positive energy when the company's employees coming to the workplace. You should not be feeling depressed. You should not be feeling, demoralized. Oh my God, I have to spend 8 hours now in this company. Every day I have to, wait for 6:30, and till that time I cannot be, sitting there. I don't know what I'm going to be doing till that time. So if you come with that kind of mindset, it's get difficult. The productivity goes down. The sales and profits of the company goes down. So employee growth, employee development is the must. Another such company is SAS. What they do? They engage leadership programs for professional training and development. The leadership program is so very important. Career mentoring and a career resource center they have. They have a separate career resource center. The academic programs for sales and technical provides, both in class and on the job training. It ensures that grades are set up to success before moving to the full-time roles. Knowledge works never went to the stagnant. They firmly believe in the principle knowledge workers never want to be stagnant. So what they strongly believe the kind of principles is that we seek all-rounded individuals who are multi-dimensional and not so narrowly focused. Multi-dimensional individuals, versatile people, people who are good communicators and collaborators and can easily adapt to rapidly changing environments. Again, that uncertainty, the rapidly changing environments. You need employees also. You need people also who can adapt themselves quickly, who have a flexible mindset, who are creative people, who are innovative people. So all these things brings out that innovation in them. It inspires leadership also, inspires change and business transformation. Eventually, business transformation is the goal. There are Amazon. I'm sure you must have heard about the company as big as Amazon. Now, what do? They offer programs, various programs of such intensive month-long training and leadership program prior to hire. Once the person is hired, during the induction only, the induction is 1 month induction process. They pay 95% of tuition fees, employment and fulfillment centers to take courses in demand. Is this a virtual contact center train employees to work from home? Even they are allowed to work from home also. So customer obsession, passion for invention, commitment to operational excellence and long-term thinking. This is what they strongly believe in. So see, if you talk to employees of Amazon, what do they say? They are saying, company of pioneers, seek out the people who want make bold backs, bold, take ownership and get their energy in inventing behalf of customers. Inventing on behalf of customers. This is what they do. They are the customers, employees, customers representative. If employee is happy, customer is going to be happy. They, they strongly believe in the principle of employee first, customer second. Employee first, customer second is something you need to believe in. There are various other companies who are offering, fit for success, focus on performance management training, how to manage up well kind of trainings, training associated with level employees to navigate relationship with senior employees, know your customer, trains all employees better understand the customer experience. Know your customer first, understand his profile, understand his perspective, understand, hear, listen to the customer, and then eventually you build up a successful relationship. We have based on our core virtues, which are hugely responsible for helping us our company culture. We believe in about relying people who enjoy each other company or respect each other's skills. Then of course I'm sure you must have heard about AT&T. AT&T is a big company into IT and high speed internet and voice services. They offer executive led program focused on leadership and management. Again, leadership and management, they offer amazing programs. They create self-paced, fast-track technical programs and mobile development, data analytics, and tech entrepreneurship, and many more to come. So there are such companies who do this. Then Randstad US, if you have heard about Randstad also, Randstad is also amazing company to work for. Managerial skills, managerial effectiveness, leadership development programs, communication and presentation skills, mentoring and coaching programs. These are the kind of programs they offer. Job seekers with a strong drive to succeed, strong judgment, and strong work ethic. That's what the objective of this company to believe in. One more such company is Paychecks. Paychecks, what do? They offer customized new hiring training programs for sales and service employees. The new hire programs are a combination of virtual learning and employees home-based and instructor-led state-of-the-art training facility. Then Cyber Coders, there's another company, Cyber Coders. What do they offer? Again, kind of highly driven, competitive individuals teaches them to apply technology to diverse marketplace. Schneider, I'm sure you must have heard about the name of Schneider company. Schneider is a dedicated academics for executive development, leadership, customer education, energy and solutions, sales and functional skills. These are the kind of programs they are offering. Then one of the biggest hospitality company, hotel, Marriott. Marriott offer variety of training programs to their employees using multiple training delivery methods, virtual and in person. The training focuses on developing skills, provide professional and career development training. Topic includes work-life balance, leadership, and management. So these are the kind of programs the companies are offering, just to make sure the employee stays with them, employees stay happy, employees stay enthusiastic. Because it's critical to work for a company that is invested in your development. When you look good, they look good. Are you looking for an employer who can really grow with? Then aren't sure. This is what the leader has to ensure that my employees are actually looking out to work. They are proud to be associated with this particular organization. So ensuring that you need to have proper company culture. So coming back to you again, Abhir, as far as we're discussing orbit shifting, what is the futuristic framework of orbit shifting? What do you think?
Right. I think it was a very interesting examples that you have given, and let us go whether we can bring into certain amount of structure in which orbit shifting can be done. I'll continue with the presentation a bit, right? Okay, and we will right. I still feel that we have still not reached a stage where we can, give a proper framework on orbit shifting so far, because we are just still on the overall concept of orbit shifting. But I thought we will let us bring more clarity as to what orbit shifting means. And as we rightly said, like most like in an the planetary method, or in the kind of the nuclear energy, wherein orbits can be created with a higher level of energy, and whether we can move out of these orbits within the setup. But for that, when you need an innovative organization, and also you need creative employees. As we rightly said, we are focusing more on the creative employees, but creation cannot happen out of thin air until and unless you have an innovative organization which channelizes these creativity or these new ideas that are being brought up by the employees. The whole process will not move forward. So typically there has to be a two-way street, wherein employees give their ideas, and organization also is on a higher pedestal of moving out of the existing model of operation and slowly moving out to the next level. So obviously, there is a continuous effort on both sides to change its orbit from one place to the other. So this is kind of a very simple example, and I would like to give in terms of typical examples that we see in India, easy examples or low hanging fruits. The name that I would bring come to my mind is typically a company like ITC. If you look at ITC, about 5 to 7 years back, ITC was a company which was fully focused on cigarettes and tobacco. And we all know how tobacco and liquor are kind of downplayed in the economy, how they are being more taxed, higher tax, and slowly they decided that no, we will not be focusing, we are not contribute to the tobacco creating population of the country, but at the same time they slowly changed gears to FMCG. Today, if you look at ITC, the name, the products that come to your mind about ITC are all FMCG names, which has taken the now today it's ITC, which is a consistent performer in the economy and has been built its capability over the years, over a period of time. It is a very good example how it has shifted gears from a tobacco company to an FMCG company. And today it's all about dairy products. It's all about biscuits. It's all about agarbatti. It's about books and so many things on FMCG. And people do not even recall about the tobacco part of ITC. So typically, though the name has still not changed, but ITC is a very good example how it has changed its orbit within the Indian economy right in front of us for the last 7 to 10 years. Uh, maybe we should also give some more examples. I will come about to that. But typically, these are just, I thought let us also bring about certain amount of thought process into the, like, what should orbit shifting bring in? Like how orbit shifting is going to evolve in an organization. Typically, these are some of the points that have come to my mind, and typically we build about an inspirational culture. I think one of the major reasons why people are not able to continue in organizations, because and people do talk about it openly today, is about the toxic culture in organization, where the top management do not have build a great bond with the employees down the ladder, and they also do not reciprocate in the same way. So instead of focusing on things that are completely going wrong, why not keep the focus on things that are going right, and inspire them to reduce their mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. If there are 10 jobs that anybody is doing, there would be two mistakes out of the 8 good jobs that you have done. But if you talk about the 2 mistakes only and do not see the 8 good jobs that the other person has done, you are not building an inspirational culture. And I think that's one of the major things that we lack in India today as a whole country. I would say this is one of the most big changes that we have in the organization, where you have to build an inspirational culture where you want to motivate people, talk good about them, show them the, and also correct their mistakes along the way. So it's very important to build an inspiration culture for people to love the job and to love the organization that you are. We are also talking about moving over and above the operational mindset, the P&L, the revenue, the profitability, closing the order, which has been there for decades now. Why not take one step up now, and why not go into think about the future, bring in about new ideas, involve the people along it, and take 20% of their time on building the great things that you are going to build for tomorrow. So once you can make them do today's work, but at the same time involve them in building an organization of tomorrow. So importance of quality over quantity. And only quantity mindset will definitely make people more boring, because after 1 or 2 years they will say, I've learned everything, I'm not learning anything new. Now you cannot say I cannot learn anything new. There has to be learning in the organization. So until and unless you take it up continually, and also deliver not only learning but also apply those learning within the organization, then only you will be able to go above it. It's very important also to have built strong differentiators. Now every organization today, if you do not build a very strong differentiator, people will not be able to align themselves to that differentiator. And maybe there are 50% of the people have those skill sets that you have today, that you want to build. Have you ever had, if the organization wants to differentiate on 3 parameters over the competition, how many people have that skill set within them or is a strong point for them? over a period of time. I think that's also very important. Also, as we have rightly told before, also we are telling again, both the organization and employee should have congruent goals, at least partially, where the employee feels motivated to contribute to the organization goal, and also should have his own set of goals, which the organization should help build up. Okay, so that it's a complete continuous process of evolving an organization. How orbit shifting is going to measure how your what is the definition of orbit shifting in the organization that we are talking of. We may give an overall theme, but every organization may have its own unique definition of orbit shifting, and how people are going to measure that, whether they have shifted the orbits within a span of 2 years or 3 years. Has the organization shifted its orbit in a span of 2 years, 3 years? So you have to put a mechanism in place or a measurement in place, and only then the organization will go above. Also, it's important, as we said, if you are competitive, you are performing, you are earning well, definitely happiness is going to go up. Is there a measure that you can see how your employees are happy within the organization? Are you measuring the score? If you have done, very good, maybe you can improve upon it. And if you have not, then definitely this is an important measurement that if people are happy, they are going to stay. And people happy means not satisfied with the job, but growing, competition, improvement. This is also an element of happiness. So growth is an important element of happiness, and most organizations in India should actually go towards. As we said, we are always working to build organization to world class, and every organization should actually move towards world class organization. And even employees have to do it. We have taken the name of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam before, and we are taking it again here to set that maybe this could be a model or a method of how orbit shifting is going to happen. We are almost at the last leg of the discussion, and maybe we can talk about one or two more examples in addition to what Mr. Sushant has already talked about. I thought if we can think about these names have how they have changed the marketplace. Haven't they